How did he win that hard, man? It's literally impossible to be that ahead. He's 40 CS up, man. 40 CS up in this matchup. And Caitlyn Alistar is not even a good lane. It's just an average lane. How the fuck does it do that? Holy shit, man. What's going on, guys? In this video we will learn how T1 Gumayusi wins 90% of his lanes. What technique does he use? What are the principles that make him the best pro player in the world on AD carry? And what are his secrets? Well, let's find out. Before we start the video, if this is the first time on my channel, my name is Gumayusi and I'm a League of Legends coach. Over 8 years experience. On this channel I will post videos that will make you better in League of Legends. So if you want to make sure 100% that you don't miss out on any new content that will make your gameplay 10 times better, faster, make sure you like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified on the newest updates. Enjoy the video. The first thing that he needs to do is that he needs to make the game. So he plays with an Alistar as a Caitlyn against Kalista. Usually Caitlyn is a really good champion against Kalista, and Amumu can't really go in to the Caitlyn if the Alistar is around, because once the Amumu goes in, Alistar can just headbutt and it's pretty easy matchup, especially because Gumayusi just went for the cleans. The plan here is very simple. The most important thing in this laning phase is that the Gumayusi needs to push, just because if he pushes the Kalista out, the enemies can't really do much in this lane phase. The game starts with an invade, the normal crazy Korea invade. Gumayusi right here has little tempo. He didn't actually want to fight because he's losing minions on the bot lane. Notice that he goes this way so he can actually cut out the enemy laners. Amumu is Q. Now Gumayusi has a lot of breathing room. Walk up and just punish the Kalista because Amumu didn't have Q for like 2 seconds. He's always looking to punish, He knows that he's very powerful as Caitlyn against Kalista just because he has a lot more range, and Amumu can't really go in as long as Gumayusi stays behind the minions. Notice that Alistar stays like in the close proximity with the Caitlyn, just in case Amumu wanted to go in, Alistar would be able to actually Q the Amumu. But once they are very close to level 2, like in this case, they are very close to level 2, the Alistar just moves in instantly into the brush so he can generate a lot of pressure. Getting level 2. Gumayusi dodges instantly the Amumu's Q right there. Notice that he doesn't always push. So the first thing that he did in the lane phase, he tried to get a little bit of control of the lane. Check this out. So he went in the laning phase, Amumu uses the Q, and now Gumayusi is ready to punish. Usually you want to get priority first on the lane before you actually poke, but since this is a melee support and he can't really go on Gumayusi if Gumayusi is behind the minions, she can always look to poke Kalista with his range without even getting the push. Usually getting the push is super important. In this specific situation, Guma can just punish without even trying to push this lane. Notice that when Kalista wants to go for a minion, Gumayusi is immediately posturing aggressively. So that's the first thing that you should do in your games as well. 1, you should understand what is your job in the laning phase and how important is the push for you. And if you're a lane bully like Caitlyn into the Kalista and you know that you can do it safely, then you can always look to punish the enemy AD carry when they walk up for a minion. The second thing that Gumayusi does here, he doesn't go into the pattern that bronze players, gold players do, just like pushing, like so much pushing for no reason, absolutely brain dead pushing. He doesn't do that because he knows that he got the priority of the lane. Those minions are low, they're going to die. Kalista is just going to back off because Alistar has pressure. Caitlyn is going to poke her. She doesn't really have a way to get those minions. So he knows that if he's just pushing, he's making things worse. That's what a normal player would probably do in like lower elos. He will start pushing for no reason. So if you are in those kind of situations, just ask yourself, hey, what am I getting if I'm pushing this? Can I get plates? Do I need to go on the river? Is something happening? Maybe I should recall. Have a reason when you're pushing. Don't just push because okay, I can just push. Can you bully the enemy? Can you get plates? Can you go on the river? If the answer is yes, sure, you can push. Otherwise, well, you can just keep the lane in the middle like this and just look to punish like Gumayusi does. Now Gumayusi doesn't really push here. We can see that he's very good at like knowing when he should really punish the Kalista. He doesn't of this. Now he knows that he's in a very overextended position and the enemy jungle can actually just come, so he's probably just going to use the Q onto the wave and push very soon. He is not in a rush because the next wave is pretty far away, so he can 100% crush it before the next wave. Here, going to go for a few auto attacks. He still doesn't have solid information on where is the enemy jungle, so he might actually get ganked. I actually didn't see if he knows where is the enemy jungle, but now theoretically he should. Okay, Momo goes in. Guma doesn't have the heal. Ooh, flashes in, tries to auto attack, tries to kite. He does have cleanse, he doesn't really use the cleanse. Okay, he uses the cleanse instantly on the Q of the Fiddlesticks. That was pretty unlucky. I think that Gumayusi shouldn't really woke up right there that much. But he was very confident that he can 2 versus 3. This is the reason why he stayed. It's not because he didn't know where is the jungle, but just because this is high level gameplay. Like, this is super insane pro player gameplay, right? So he knew that he can 2 versus 2. Of course, if you are in solo queue, you should just play it safe. If you don't know where is the jungle, you should just play safe. But if you have clans and you want to try a Gumayusi montage, you can always try to like 2v3. So the reason why he stayed there is not because he didn't know about the jungle. Yes, he didn't know about the jungle, but he knew that it's just a fucking Fiddlesticks and he can just cleanse. Alistar can just headbutt the Amumu and it should be fine. They can 2 versus 3, especially because the Gumayusi has the little tempo. Now he gets in the laning phase, he looks to slow push, doesn't even want to follow this fight because it's just a random coin flip fight. Just look to last hit. The next principle that you will learn here is that you need to know how to manage your wave if you want to win your lane. So right now, Gumayusi doesn't just instantly push it because he knows that Kalista is just in the tower waiting him to push. But if he just keeps the wave here and slow pushes, then the minions are going to die. Some of the minions are going to die and Kalista will lose something. Kalista shows up. Gumayusi wins this because he has a bigger wave and he has little tempo, so as long as he uses his range correctly, he should always win this. Kalista has Berserker Boots, so she's not weak at all. Actually, she is quite strong with Berserker Boots. But usually Gumayusi is very known for his kiting and spacing potential. Check out this trap. So Gumayusi, he exactly knew that Kalista is going to go for this minion. And what did he do? So she knew that she might actually walk up to actually kill Gumayusi because she's Berserker, so she's winning. So what he did is that he immediately walked up and put a trap, boom! Put a trap right here in case Kalista wants to walk up for this minion and use the passive like this, so she's instantly going to get trapped. This is 300 IQ by Gumayusi. Walks up, he's going to just put the traps behind the tower, right here one, and probably behind the tower one. He can always keep one trap as well up if he doesn't really have it. Puts the trap into the brushes in case someone is going to go there, so he has some sort of pressure. Another thing that he does that is super high elo here is that Alistar wants to go in. He is Hexdash flashing right here. Enemy team doesn't really have a ward here. And Gumayusi, what will a normal player do? Well, a normal player would just walk up because obviously the Alistar goes in, so he wants to go in. He wants to be ready for the trap. What does Gumayusi do? He clicks back. This is a 300 IQ play by Gumayusi because this is just a mind game. If I'm Kalista right here and I know that Alistar is in the brush and I see Caitlyn walking up, I'll know that Alistar is Hexdash flashing. But if I'm Kalista right here and I see Gumayusi backs off and I know Gumayusi is like a pro player, like, hey, this guy is really smart, he's not stupid, he wouldn't really walk back if the Alistar would have casted his Hexdash flash from the brush. So I might as well just go for the minion. So the Gumayusi is doing a mind game here. He's making the Kalista think that Alistar doesn't do anything here and he's not using the Hexdash flash and he's just clicking back. And after he clicks back one time, he clicks back the second time as well, just because he wants to use his body language in his advantage right here. And the moment when Alistar is in, he immediately walks up aggressively. Still not looking to push, just looking to slow push and punish. This is how Caitlyn works. You want to use your extra minions advantage just because you want to bully the enemy, and when the enemy goes for the minion, you just want to look to punish. Now Guma is most likely going to look to crush the next wave. The next wave is right here, which means that enemy wave is right here. So he's going to look to push this really fast and look either for a recall. I think he's just going to play for the non-quiver and boots dagger, something like this. I think he's just going to use his Q very soon on the wave, and he's just going to look to push. We can also notice that Lee Sin is pathing towards both side right here. So he most likely thinks about listening right here. I think he just needs to recall. He has 1.4k gold. He can play around the economy, so he needs to have good recall timings. If you wanna have a clean gameplay in the laning phase, you need to have good recall timings. Now he has an X amount of gold. He has 1.4k gold, a lot of gold. He can get no puts dagger, so it's so easy. The recall right here, especially because he was able to perfectly push the wave into the tower, so this is the best time to recall. Another thing is that when you play League of Legends, you really want to play around the base time. If you play Victor, you want to play around your Lost Chapter. If you play Caitlyn, you want to play around your Null Quiver. If you play Vayne, you want to play around Berserker Boots. If you play top lane, you want to play around maybe your Plated Boots or maybe the Whip. It depends on the champion that you're playing, but what is certain is that you need to play around the base timing. So when you go into the next game and you play, let's say you play Kai'Sa, think about it. Like, hey, what is the most ideal base that I can get? And try to play around that. That doesn't mean always get it. You won't get it most of the time, but you want to look to get it if it's possible. Gumayusi stays right here. He gets stopped by the Mumu. Mumu is like checking the brushes, and whoop, Gumayusi has to stay right here. He's looking at his jungle, pinging a little bit. Obviously, right here, enemies should just push. The enemies didn't even know that Gumayusi is here because the moment when a Mumu is walking up, the Gumayusi doesn't let Amumu to know that he stopped him. So Amumu actually doesn't have vision here. He didn't even see Caitlyn right here canceling the recall. This is why Amumu checks this brush first, the middle brush first. He wanted to stop recall, but he actually didn't know that he stops recall. So what Gumayusi is doing right here is a mind game. If Kalista knows that Caitlyn is base, she will just hard push. So this is a fake recall by Gumayusi, which is very simple thing to do in Challenger. All of the people know how to do. So now Gumayusi is going to stay. He needs to stay because otherwise he's going to lose a lot of minions right here. And he has enough HP to stay, so he can always do this. He's walking up, trying to do something. Yes, he misses the Q. Super. It was okay gank there because it's a pressure gank. So Gumayusi, what he's going to probably do is just going to look to recall. He can also look to push one more wave, but he doesn't know where his Fiddlesticks. He just pings the brush because Fiddlesticks is there. Like, there is no way Fiddlesticks is not there with level 6. Just boom, going on him with his ultimate. He knows it. He goes for the boost. He goes for the non-cover. He goes for the potion. He has the perfect base. He doesn't need to stay more. Plus, of course, he doesn't want to take unnecessary risks, especially without knowing where his enemy jungle. Goes on the lane. Wave is slow pushing into the enemies, but right now there is nothing you can do since the Kalista is into the tower. So you just wanna like look to slow push. These two minions are most likely going to die. This one and this one. So it's pretty easy to punish Kalista. If she doesn't have Vampiric Scepter, Guma is most likely going to try to ulti her very early. If she doesn't have sustain. Okay, she has refillable potion, so it's suboptimal to ulti early. Of course, for those of you who don't know, in high elo, you can use the Caitlyn's ulti to pressure the enemy. Get the HP to half HP. Like, you ulti Kalista early, she's half HP, and if she doesn't have the sustain, then she'll be half HP the whole laning phase, and you can actually pressure more. Gumayusi just pushed the lane, he plays with Alistar, he plays with the Lee Sin. Notice how good is his wave management. He just pushed the wave before he actually moved onto the river right here. And he knows that there is nothing he loses right here. Plus he has little tempo cleanse flash. So if anything happens here, he can cleanse anything and he can just win this. He's super strong. He has his power spike. This is also really strong. So he's looking to win this. Very important to understand this principle of always having a good map awareness so you can play around your teammates. Of course, you usually want to prioritize the farm, but if you can push the wave like this and also stay with your teammates and be ready to follow on the river, then that's obviously really good. She just gets a kill right here and he's definitely going to die here. He got a kill for the Gumayusi, 80 farm in 9 minutes. He's super happy about it. If Fiddlesticks comes here, he doesn't even give a fuck. He's just going to push. He has cleanse, he's walking up. He's looking at top lane to see if Fiddlesticks is there. He's moving in, taking place. He's going to Q the wave. Alistar is going to as well, since there is no threat about Fiddlesticks being around, especially because Lee Sin is close proximity. So Gumayusi is going to stay for the plate, stay for the wave, recall, and play from there. He looks at the Drake in case the Lee Sin needs him, but since the Drake is like 2k HP, Guma knows that he doesn't need to stay. Okay, Amumu gets caught on the river. Kalista is pushing the wave. Now wave is coming into Guma. He just needs to clear fast. Amumu just died. Guma just walks up. He knows that Kalista walks up onto the river, and he knows that he can win very easy against Kalista since he has a lot more items. Usually, Caitlyn loses against Kalista a long fight, but in this specific situation, since Guma is a lot stronger than Kalista, and he knows that, he also has both summoner spells. He knows that he can walk up that aggressively. So notice what he did here. He sees a fight on the river. He pushes instantly and he walks up very confidently because he knows that Kalista is moving onto the river and he knows that he has ultis to participate here. In case Kalista stays into the brush here, he knows he can just EW and just kill Kalista if he wants it. He's pinging, looking to follow onto the river. Looks the Q. Just gets a kill there. He knows that he doesn't need to follow on the next one. And he's just going to look to push. He pushes, he recalls. He does have the cloak, right? He's going to just get the cloak and get his Gale Force. He goes back into the lane phase. Notice that he also he backwards just because he wanted to get faster to the lane phase. He has 115 farm in 12 minutes, so he has almost perfect farm. He's going to look to push right now. His job is to just to get the tower and siege mid lane. Since Caitlyn has a wonderful siege, you really want to siege with like after the bot tower is gone. This is what you usually do with Ezreal, with Caitlyn, and also with other champions if you're allowed to. The worst thing that you can do is looking to siege mid lane before the tower is falling, or also sieging on mid lane on champions like Vayne, on champions like that have good split push option is bad. The third option where sieging is really bad, and I see this all around in silver, gold, platinum, even in diamond. Sieging is very bad if you know that if you go mid lane, you're going to get dumpstered. So for example, if you know you're 3-0 on the Kai'Sa and you have a Janna, and you know that you see the enemy Syndra is 5-0, and you know that if you get there, you just insta get popped, it's usually better to just stay bot, get Krugs, stay bot, get the farm, get Krugs, and play from there. And then eventually, after you push the wave all the way into the tower, you can look to on the mid lane. The concept is that you want to avoid grouping mid lane if you didn't get the tower. 2, avoid grouping mid lane if the enemy mid laner is ultra fed and you know that you have no counterplay if you go there. And number 3 is avoid going mid lane if you're a champion that scales very well and you know that you want to stay more to get the solo XP in the side lane. Gumayusi right now, as we can see, he respected the rule, of course, so he just get the tower and he immediately went mid lane. He has the wave pushed up into the bot lane, so he doesn't even care. Right now he's super strong. He's just going to get the kill on the Kalista and boop. He does have his flash, does have his E, he does have his cleanse. Ooh, double kill for Guma, and boop, it's easy. 150 farm in 14 minutes, man. Fuck does it do? How did he win that hard, man? It's literally impossible to be that ahead. He's 40 CS up, man. 40 CS up in this matchup. And Caitlyn Alistar is not even a good lane. It's just an average lane. How the fuck does it do that? Holy shit, man. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe to the video if you want to see more of this. Let me know in the comments if you like this kind of content and you want me to make another pro player analysis, whether it's going to be Ruler, Faker, Gumayusi, Teddy, Keria, or any other player. Comment below what player you want me to analyze or what kind of videos you want to. If you really want to improve in League of Legends, you want to get better and you feel a little bit stuck, if you ever thought about getting some help or getting someone to really show you what you're doing wrong, show you what you need for the next rank. Maybe you want to prepare for the next season, you want to get platinum, maybe you want to get gold, you want to get out of bronze, silver, maybe you want to get diamond, or maybe you're already high elo and you need a little bit more help to push for this challenger. I also do coaching for the players that really want to improve. I already coach more than 2,000 of people, bronze to challenger, have a lot of people that climbed from bronze, diamond, especially on AD carry role. So if you really wanna climb and improve, whether you're AD carry main, support main, or mid lane main, go ahead and book your own personalized coaching session and start improving instantly right now. I'll see you in the session.